know if something don't want me to scream or what. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on. Very odd shit going on. Damn, I ain't about to be crazy, y'all. I'm about to be on, y'all. We about to be on Twitch all night. We about to be on Twitch all fucking night, man. No way. No way. Fuck. Man. Holy shit. Well, I guess it just is what it is, bro. It's what this shit just come down to. Grinding hard. Fuck it. It is what it is, bro. See, this the type shit right here. See, this the type shit right here that make, that separate the legend from the superstar. Cause you could be a superstar, but you know what I'm saying? You won't always be a legend. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. If you get it, you get it. I ain't gotta say nothing else. Now, if you don't get it, Lord, please. Now I gotta plug it down. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. I will go. I will go hard. I will go hard. Y'all want to know about that? Alright, bro. Let's try the shit all over again.
You're okay, bro. Give me a workout, right? Anything on you that's okay. Anything in your pockets, bro? Some wallet. Some change. Spread your feet for me. Thanks, bro.
Do you have any injuries you need to know about?
Yeah,
You think so or no?
I definitely do.
What's wrong with your foot?
I sprained it.
Yeah, you're good. All right.
Okay, let's go sit back in here.
He's got some change in his pockets.
Put me in some shoes out of dust.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got gear on, brother. Come on now. Let's get a little run now.
Step feet in.
Yeah. Come talk to me.
Just name, date of birth. I'm just gonna pop his door real quick. It'll be easier. All right.
These cuffs.
What's up, buddy?
Cuffs are killing me. About 2 fingers worth not taking one.
Okay. When we get out, they'll probably have me take them off anyway.
That's
It's
what you get for running, you know?
You're all good.
Cinch them down.
Yeah, you're all good. What's your middle initial, Shane?
Oh, I'm an idiot and I'm a little delirious from the run. I just don't want to say anything.
Okay, no problem. I'll just grab it from there.
Okay, yeah.
And you said your foot hurt? Your foot hurts, correct?
Yeah, this foot does. I don't know what I did to it. I got a set of boots I just got.
Okay, so your right or left foot? So I can let them know. Left foot? Okay.
The suspect is now checked out at the hospital, medically cleared, and promptly taken to jail. As police still don't have all the details of the fraud scheme the suspect is involved in, a day later, an officer questions him about the missing information.
So real quick, body cam, state of Washington, we're required to record anytime we talk with people. So that's running. You understand that side of it, right? Mm-hmm. So again, I'm Detective Stormer, Longview PD. I'm here to talk to you about something that happened in Longview here over the past week. Wondering if you're willing to talk to me a little bit about what's going on.
I haven't spoken with a lawyer yet, and I just am not all there. I'd much prefer to have a lawyer present with anybody.
So kind of what's happening, just so you know, and we won't talk about it. Incident happened this week. Obviously, we wear body cameras. The officer says you ran from him on some stuff. He's requesting a warrant just because you're here. So what will probably happen is I won't come back here, right? It's a decent of a drive. So I'm assuming the judge, PA, is going to get a warrant for you, extradite you back to Longview, and then go from there. So I won't talk with you again. Just imagine when you get there, you'll get an attorney. Do you have any other warrants around here that you've got to handle while you're here?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So whenever you bail out of here, they'll ship you back to Cowles County, and then you'll see a judge, whatever the bail is, and then you can bail out there. But just so you know, kind of that's, I'm guessing what's going to happen.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I figured, but I had to come up here and try to talk to me. I am going to turn this off right now. But you did understand that this was recording, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Fortunately for police, the jail sergeant of the county jail happens to be directly involved in this case to fill in the missing details of the situation. The jail sergeant's wife was at a concert days prior when the license plate off of her car was stolen and replaced with another different stolen license plate. The license plate was then found to be on the vehicle the suspect used to flee the bank when he was attempting to cash in the fraudulent check. Police are now able to put the full story together. The suspect broke into a house to steal a check and then stole the homeowner's vehicle as well. He then swapped the license plate of the stolen vehicle with the license plate off the jail sergeant's wife's car. He then drove this vehicle to the bank the day after to attempt to cash the fraudulent.
You have got to be fucking town's biggest idiot. Bro, you stole the license plate, not even knowing who fucking license plate you were stealing. Just so happens to be a fucking what? What? This has got to be the most craziest random shit ever. What?
Check in for $3,000. However, bank staff knew the check was fraudulent when the suspect signed a name that belonged to an incarcerated person. Bank staff then called police, which is what led to the first incident shown in the body cam footage. The suspect, identified as Shane, was charged with felony forgery or counterfeiting, identity theft, 2 counts of felony possession of stolen property, felony fleeing, eluding a police vehicle, obstructing a public servant, and resisting arrest. He was adjudicated guilty and sentenced to 22 months in prison and 12 months of probation.
Bro, you almost, bro, you got 2 years, your stupid ass. You got your ass 2 years, whole another year on probation for stealing. All because you want to steal. That has got to be the craziest shit to me. You gotta do better, gang. You gotta do better, but you will be alright. What they say, gotta do better, but you will be all right. Hey, you in good hands now. Ah, yeah, you in good hands now, boy.
The Houston Police Department just dropped a hit piece on rapper Cartel Bo, and they would expose him for what they will say is him capping and lying about several things in his hood vlog he did with Tommy G. This is really something I've never seen before. I've never seen a police department do this in my life. The purpose of a hood vlog is to highlight and showcase your community. But if you're a rapper who rely on street credibility, you kind of have to showcase it in a way that looks cutthroat and looks as savage and gangster as possible, because that adds to your lore, that adds to your credibility that you were able to survive such a treacherous environment. And this hood vlog was no different. Cartel Bo.
Hey, y'all, don't this go like
Can't be all extra though. Come on. Look, you gonna get us caught.
I'm not like gonna say. I'm asking. Genuinely asking. Don't this bitch go like Whitney Houston, man? I swear I seen her, or seen like a page of hers or something. I think she opened with it, so I don't think she's hiding. I believe that's her game. I'm not sure. I'm not like trying to troll her. I'm being dead serious. I'm not trolling or none of that shit. I'm being absolutely 100% serious. I'm not trolling or anything for sure.
Pull up. Do you have any? Do you have? Do you have any idea how many people you've killed?
No, I don't even know.
But you remember doing it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was engaged in the war, and the rules of engagement were kill or be killed, you know?
Monster Cody did an interview, and he said that he brought somebody's arm.
You mean to tell me that story is real?
Yes, that was Jay Blake's arm. It was real. He did bring an arm back. They chopped him up and put him in front of Jefferson High School.
A lot of homies said a lot of treacherous things about him. They were scared of him, homie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
few of the big homies. I mean, men ain't supposed to be scared of men, but they was afraid of him.
When it comes to real street terror, Monster Cody is definitely near the top of the list. He didn't get the nickname Monster for nothing.
Who the fuck is this?
Do you have any idea how many people you've killed?
No. No, I don't even know.
But you remember doing it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was engaged in a war, and the rules of engagement were kill or be killed, you know?
Monster Cody did an interview, and he said that he brought somebody's arm.
You mean to tell me that story is real?
Yes, that was Jay Blake's arm. It was real. He did bring an arm back. They chopped him up and put him in front of Jefferson High School.
A lot of homies said a lot of treacherous things about him. They were scared of him, homie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Few of the big homies. I mean, men ain't supposed to be scared of men, but they was afraid of him.
When it comes to real street terror, Monster Cody is definitely near the top of the list. He didn't get the nickname Monster for nothing. He earned it at just 13 years old after beating a man so badly that his face couldn't even be recognized.
Where did Monster come from?
The name?
Yeah.
Because America produced me, but the name came from a beating that I had given a guy.
If he could do that to a random man, imagine what he did to his enemies. So when the deadly war between the A-Tray gangster Crips and the Rollin' 60s Crips broke out, Monster Cody played a major role and was responsible for a lot of killings.
Do you have any idea how many people you've killed?
No. No, I don't even know.
But you remember doing it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was engaged in a war, and the rules of engagement were kill or be killed, you know?
That's why many people find it strange how he never crossed paths with Big U during that time, especially since Monster reportedly killed several of Big U's close friends.
Typical LA.
With Big U during that time, especially.
Typical LA dude. Yo, this is a typical LA dude right here, bro. Insane.
Since Monster reportedly killed several of Big U's close friends. Monster Cody was about 3 years older than Big U, and many believe that if they had run into each other, Big U might not have survived. Even though Big U had a strong reputation too, he wasn't on Cody's level. In fact, Big U himself admitted that things would have been way more violent if Cody had still been active, and he even called Cody one of his inspirations.
Cody was an enigma, man. If he could have stayed straight, he'd have been a mark. I look up to him. I got a lot of respect for him.
A-Trace versus Rollin' 60s. Now, the war between A-Trace and Rollin' 60s started over a girl. A fight between an A-Tray recruit and someone from the 60s turned into gun violence, and the A-Tray member ended up killing Tyrone, the younger brother of Big Rick, a well-known 60s member.
In 1979, along with Tookie's arrest, was the start of the A-Tray Rollin' 60s war. So I understand the whole thing was over a girl.
Yes, sir.
That changed everything. Neighborhoods that used to be cool with each other had to
You know them old heads ain't gonna lie about Nathan. Oh, so they say all this is over some pussy. Hell yeah, damn sure was.
take sides, and old friends became enemies. Monster Cody was deep in the middle of the war. He shot and attacked dozens of Rollin' 60s members. It got so bad that a woman named Elisa Burks McKnight, who lost several nephews to the war, claimed that Monster Cody captured one of her nephews, chopped him up, and kept his arms as trophies, and he was only 16 at the time.
Monster Cody did an interview, and he said that he brought somebody's arm.
You mean to tell me that story is real?
Yes, that was Jay Blake's arm. It was real. He did bring an arm back. They chopped him up and put him in front of Jefferson High School.
Not long after, Cody was ambushed and shot 6 times by 3 adult Rollin' 60s members. He had been set up by some girls who were dating guys from his set. What probably saved his life was the fact that earlier that night, he had been drinking cheap wine called Night Train and smoking PCP during a New Year's Eve celebration. Because he was so high, his body didn't go into shock after the shooting. While in the hospital, Cody said he had hallucinations where he saw the faces of everyone he had shot over the years and also saw his baby daughter. He survived and spent several weeks recovering. recovering. Meanwhile, his younger brother Kershawn, known as Lil Monster and also an A-Tray, wanted revenge. On New Year's Day 1981, Kershawn and a few other young A-Trays went on a shooting spree. Kershawn shot 2 teens at a party in the 60s neighborhood, later killed another teen in a drive-by. He was later arrested and sentenced to 5 years in juvenile detention for murder. While Cody was still in the hospital, the same people who shot him came back to try and
Yo, you catching bodies and you only get 5 years in juvie? God, the 80s and 90s was something, ain't it? God damn, boy, the 80s and 90s was something. God damn, boy, a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Crack wheeling and coke wheeling motherfuckers. No, crack wheeling, coke wheeling, and PCP smoking motherfuckers, man. God damn.
finish the job. A nurse stepped in and saved his life. But once Cody was released, he didn't slow down. He went right back to attacking and killing Rollin' 60s members. Monster Cody was a serious threat to the Rollin' 60s, a true menace. But how did Monster Cody become the person he did? Monster Cody. Monster Cody was born Cody DeJean Scott on November 13, 1963 in Los Angeles, California. His parents, Ernest Scott and Bertie Canada, were originally from Houston, Texas. Cody was the 5th of 6 kids. He had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Cody believed there was a chance that his real father was Dick Bass, a former running back for the Los Angeles Rams. He thought his mother may have had an affair with a football player, but there's no solid proof to support that claim. Whether true or not, his supposed father, Ernest Scott, held a deep grudge against Bertie over an alleged affair. He regularly abused her in front of the kids during Cody's early childhood. Ernest also mistreated Cody specifically, both physically and emotionally. He would beat him often and clearly favored his biological children over Cody. For example, he would take the other kids out to restaurants, movies, or even to visit his hometown in Houston, but he would always leave Cody behind on purpose. In 1970, Ernest and Bertie got divorced. Even after that, Ernest would still visit the family on weekends, but he continued to show nothing but dislike and coldness toward Cody. By 1972, Bertie had moved the family into a home near 69th Street and Denker Avenue, right in the middle of a dangerous gang-heavy neighborhood in South Central Los Angeles. Bertie was working several jobs to support the family, so she wasn't home much. Because of the neglect he felt from both parents, Cody started spending most of his time on the streets. It was around then that he began hanging out with his neighbor, Stanley Tookie Williams, the leader of the West Side Crips. In his book, Blue Rage Black Redemption, Tookie recalled how Cody was always around, watching him and the other Crip members hang out, lift weights, and smoke PCP. They would talk about their fights and shootings, while young Cody listened closely. Tookie would later say he regretted the way he acted around Cody, knowing how much influence he had on the boy. He blamed himself for exposing Cody to gang life and drugs, especially PCP, which Cody would later become heavily addicted to. After the war, Monster ended up getting sent back to jail again. Now, despite dropping out of high school, Cody found himself drawn to education while behind bars. Prison gave him time to think, and he used that time to read, learning about Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, and revolutionary ideologies that made him question everything he had been taught in the streets. He started associating with members of the Republic of New Africa, and that exposure pushed him to re-examine his purpose. It wasn't just about survival anymore. He wanted something bigger, something that mattered. His involvement in activism deepened when he participated in the 1992 Los Angeles riots, a massive uprising sparked by the brutal beating of Rodney King by LAPD officers. The riots were a turning point in LA's history, and Cody was right in the middle of it, standing with his people in defiance of a system that had oppressed them for generations. That, of course, led to yet another arrest. By 1993, Cody was sitting in solitary confinement at Pelican Bay State Prison, one of the most notorious prisons in California. But it was in that cell, alone with his thoughts, that he decided to write down his life story. That decision led to Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member, a book that would shake the world. At the time, gang culture was still somewhat of a mystery to the general public. Most people only saw the surface-level violence, but Cody's book gave them a first-hand account of what life in the trenches was really like.
This book is 383 pages of reality. I'm uniquely qualified to write 383 pages of life for this generation, and that's what I've done. It's 383 pages of gore, no doubt about that, but it's reality. It happens every day.
Monster Cody and Tupac's friendship. In the early 1990s, Cody had begun going by the name Sanyika Shakur.
You know the crazy part about it? As I said to myself, who the fuck is this dude? I don't know this dude. But when I seen pictures, especially this one right here,
Tupac's friendship. In the early
especially this one right here, I was like, bro, this dude looks familiar. fuck. So yeah, I think I do. I think I do know about this dude. I don't think I know. I didn't know much about him. Um, but I think I've have like seen this dude's face plenty of times before for sure. Plenty of times before for sure.
1990s, Cody had begun going by the name Sanika Shakur, and around this time, he became friends with Tupac Shakur. Tupac and Monster Cody didn't have a lot of public interactions, but one of their first recorded conversations was a powerful 22-minute phone call on October 18, 1995. This was right after both of them had been released from prison, and you could immediately tell how comfortable they were with each other.
What's up? You got two, player. Hey, I got the message you was trying to send, but they had me on the Hannibal Lecter trip. Yeah, I was wondering what happened, because they do that to me, too, when I was up in there.
During the call, they covered a lot. One of the things Monster Cody wanted was for Tupac to play him in a movie about his life, and Pac was open to the idea.
You know we start shooting the movie next month, right? You do? I'm telling you, man, I want you to play me, man. I want to play you. Okay, can't have nobody play you. I'm going to plug you in, man. I'm telling you, can't nobody do this shit but you. We're going to have that Shakur thing. All right, I'm going to blow it up. We're going to have that Shakur thing. Hey, I represent it for you. I'm telling you. All of New York. I got all those New York dudes who hate the West Coast screaming out your name.
They also talked about collaborating on music, with Tupac inviting Cody to a studio to record. But what really stood out was how much Tupac respected Cody's journey and his book, Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member. Pac had read it while he was locked up and was blown away by it. At one point, he recalled a moment when someone pulled a gun on him, and in that split second, his mind flashed back to Cody's book, where Cody described a similar experience in vivid detail. That moment hit Pac hard because he could relate to it on a deep level.
So when they pulled the pistols out, I swear on everything I love, first thing I thought about was reading in your book when you was talking about how you felt when them niggas drew down on you. Ain't that cool? Exactly how I felt. The setup, the shit you was talking about, how you just look up and the nigga be like, boom.
But the most important part of their conversation wasn't about movies or music. It was about change. Tupac had a whole plan laid out to uplift black communities, and he wanted Cody to be a part of it. His vision was to create a youth league with football, basketball, and softball teams for boys and girls, where each team would be sponsored by a different rapper.
It's like where we start like this youth league, right? Like football league, basketball, football, softball, for girls and boys. I'm going to get all the rappers to adopt the team.
The rappers would put up the money to fund the teams, while local churches would sell food during the games, and men from the community would handle security. The goal was to build a sense of unity and positive energy within the neighborhoods, and it didn't stop there. Tupac wanted to take things even further by organizing weekend block parties where big-name rappers would perform. These wouldn't just be parties. They would be strategic gatherings to bring people together and mobilize them for real change.
Then on the weekends, we have block parties. All right. And every rapper got to get up. Every rapper, nigga, if you got a record out, you got to get up for us. You got to come do a free show for the hood.
Once they had the numbers, they would register voters and take their demands directly to the mayors of different cities. The message would be clear. We have the people, we have the numbers, and we need things to change in our communities. If you don't address these issues, you don't get our votes.
And then when we do that, we register the voters. And if we can register them for Democrats, Republican, or Independent, then we start going up to the mayors of these cities and telling them, look, we got this many voters in this city. We want you to do this. We want a community center. We start hitting up Nike for the free clothes, the computer stores for the free computers for each community center.
Pac's plan even extended to addressing street violence and crime. He talked about going straight to the shot callers in different drug-infested areas and negotiating with them to keep the streets safe during certain hours.
We're going to drive to all these drug areas, right? Yeah. Imagine me, Redman, Tretch, Ice Cube, them type of niggas getting out, going up to the whoever's the main drug dealer on that niggas to dinner, invite them niggas to some Sean Perignon, steak and lobster, and be like, look, player, we asking you, not telling you, we asking you as a player to a player, can you please give us a pass to have these streets clean?
His idea was simple, but powerful. There should be no gunshots, no violence during those designated times so that kids could clean the streets safely. He also wanted politicians to step in and ensure that law enforcement wasn't harassing people unnecessarily during those safe hours. What Tupac was proposing wasn't just a temporary fix. It was a long-term strategy to reclaim the streets and empower the people. And Monster Cody was all in. He was ready to ride with Tupac on this movement.
Let that be for the kids. Let them niggas be safe during those times. No gunshots, no drug dealers. From 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., y'all can have the streets back. But let us get the streets from these times.
During the call, they also talked about the idea of doing a book on Tupac's life. Cody mentioned that it'd be great to write it, and Pac, who had already been trying to get some...
This is why when people ask, which one is better? Which one the best is? Tupac or Big? If Pac or Big, but it's gonna always Pac. You know what I'm saying? Like, Big was different, but Pac was different. You know what I'm saying? Like it was always more. It was always more to than what people try to portray him as. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how it goes. But I mean, not usual, but usual. You know what I'm saying? It be the one, bro. That's usually how it goes. You know, motherfuckers be off the chain and all that. Yeah, it be more the motherfuckers than what motherfuckers be trying to lead on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. Bro was just different, man. His mind was hella creative, bro. Hella creative, dog. So when people try to, base base his death and base how that went or whatever off this game shit, it was more than that. It was more than that. It was more than that. Sure.
Something like that going, was fully on board. He called Cody's book a classic, but Cody told him that Pac's story would even be more explosive. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. Tupac's life was filled with enough triumphs, struggles, and revolutionary ideas to inspire generations. During their call, Tupac and Monster Cody also touched on one of the biggest turning points in Pac's life, the infamous Quad Studio shooting. Pac got shot multiple times in that ambush.
Into the murder of rapper Tupac Shakur. This is now available to the public. It includes pictures and video of the car Shakur was riding in the night of his death.
And it completely changed the way he saw the world. Before that incident, he used to put the movement first. He believed in uniting people, bridging gaps, and bringing different groups together for a greater cause. He didn't prioritize gang affiliations or street politics because he thought there was a bigger fight to win. But after that shooting, everything changed for him. Pac admitted that the betrayal messed him up mentally. He felt like his open-mindedness, his willingness to embrace everybody, was what got him set up in the first place. That's when he started leaning towards putting gangbanging first because, in his eyes, the movement had failed him. People he trusted had turned against him.
My shit, the gangbang shit, comes second to me. Right. And now I'm trying to make it come first because that movement shit will fuck you up. Movement shit got me loving every brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you need me, I'm there for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nigga need money, a job, I'm with you. Niggas be come up to me with guns on. Niggas be hugging me with techs on. You know what I mean?
And when Pac said this, Cody responded with something that would later seem like a warning. He talked about how he always kept his circle small. Cody was extremely cautious about the people he surrounded himself with because he knew that the wrong company could put him in life or death situations. He made it clear that he only trusted a select few, and he was very intentional about who he called a friend.
I am who I am. I survived through what I survived through by being intelligent, by not allowing cats to outsmart me, put me in precarious position where I can get whacked, right? So I choose my friends very, very carefully.
Looking back, a lot of people found that conversation eerie because, in many ways, it foreshadowed what happened to Tupac. One of the biggest theories surrounding Pac's death is that the people around him, the ones he trusted, were the ones who led to his downfall. And that's exactly why, after Tupac was killed, Cody's first suspect wasn't the streets. It was Suge Knight. To Cody, there was always something off about the circumstances surrounding Tupac's death. Yes, Tupac joining death row and aligning himself with Suge Knight played a huge role in escalating the East Coast versus West Coast beef, but Cody believed there was even more to it. He later wrote about his suspicions, saying, "On hearing of his death, my first thought was that Suge had set him up. I had no evidence, but had heard that a feud was brewing over contractual matters, including Machiavelli's firing of his lawyer, David Kenner, and him wanting to leave death row to start his own label. I read and reread all the news clippings about the shooting. Things kept fitting ill to me. I'd read that he had no vest on and then saw a photo and vibe to substantiate this fact. Yet in my experience, Machiavelli went nowhere without a vest or his heat. And if his killers were the Southside Crips with whom he supposedly fought that evening, why didn't the shooter dump on every car in the caravan? Suge's entourage was allegedly made up of top-ranking blood Pyrus, so why would a Crip pass up all those points to shoot someone who wasn't even a blood? These thoughts ran through my head before I met the man." Cody actually went on to investigate Tupac's murder himself. That alone speaks volumes about the love and respect he had for Pac. Interestingly, Cody eventually met Suge Knight while they were both in prison. Suge even wrote him a letter acknowledging his friendship with Tupac, but even that wasn't enough to ease Cody's suspicions. He remained skeptical, constantly questioning the narrative that was being pushed about Pac's death. Monster Cody may not have been able to bring his vision to life alongside Tupac, but that didn't stop him from making a name for himself in his own way. His journey was one of transformation, from a feared gang member and one of Los Angeles' most notorious criminals, to an author and activist who used his own story to warn others about the dangers of the streets. Monster Cody's final years. Cody's later years were just as eventful as his younger days, though in a different way. Even as he tried to turn his life around, trouble seemed to follow him. In 2007, he was accused of breaking into an acquaintance's home, assaulting him, and attempting to steal his car. At the time, his name was already on Los Angeles' most wanted gang members list due to parole violations. Given California's strict three-strikes law, another serious conviction would mean life in prison. That case was a major turning point. If things didn't go his way, he was looking at spending the rest of his days behind bars. In 2008, Cody ended up pleading no contest to carjacking and robbery charges. Instead of life, he was sentenced to 6 years in state prison. That same year, while locked up once again, he took a different approach to storytelling. He had already told his real-life experiences in Monster, but now he was diving into fiction. He wrote his first novel, Thug Life, using storytelling as another way to highlight the realities of street life. But he didn't stop there. In November 2013, he released another book, Stand Up, Struggle Forward, New African Revolutionary Writings on Nation, Class, and Patriarchy. This wasn't just about gang life. It was a deeper exploration of race, politics, and the social structures that had shaped his world. Cody was no longer just talking about what happened to him. He was diving into why things were the way they were. Before he passed, he was working on yet another book and was in talks with a streaming service to bring his story to life as a podcast. One of the most interesting parts of this project was that he was collaborating with someone he once considered an enemy, Leo Pretty Boy Smith, a former rival from the Rollin' 60s Crips. Cody and Smith had grown up in the same neighborhood, but they had been on opposite sides of one of the most infamous Crip rivalries.
The Rolling 60s was the largest gang in the city of Los Angeles, with over 1,600 active members, the size of an army brigade.
A-Tray gangsters versus Rollin' 60s. For years, they had been sworn enemies, caught up in the never-ending cycle of violence that defined LA gang culture. But things changed after Cody published Monster. Smith, like many others, saw the book as more than just a personal story. It was a wake-up call. The two men eventually squashed their beef and started working together, a testament to how much Cody had evolved. One of the people who helped bring Cody's story into the mainstream was Leon Bing, a former fashion model turned journalist. She had written a book called Do or Die, an in-depth look at LA gang life, and Cody was one of the people she featured. That exposure played a big role in making his story known outside of the streets. Bing saw a side of Cody that many didn't. She recalled organizing a toy drive at a local hospital while he was in prison, an effort to give back to the community despite his circumstances.
I knew goddamn well one of them goddamn dogs ain't loose again. I got a smart ass fucking dog who just don't want to be dumb. She keep pushing the fucking fence open. After this, we gonna do how much? Yeah, it's over. We got check. It's pretty good.
She remembered him as an incredibly intelligent and well-read
What I was saying, she reminded me of a Madonna.
person, someone who was often misunderstood because of his reputation. He had been feared for so long that people didn't always see the depth of his mind. Fast forward, and Cody's story came to a tragic end. On June 7th, 2021, he was found dead in a tent at an encampment near the San Luis River Trail in Oceanside, California. His wife, Tamu, was the one who discovered his body. According to authorities, Cody had been dead for some time. His body was in a badly decomposed state when they found him. The Oceanside Police Department stated that there were no signs of foul play, and it appeared he had died of natural causes.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. That's how it goes, man. He got did what he did. You know, he did his time, whether he did what many people may think. wasn't enough or whatever the case was, but he changed that shit, man, and wanted to speak about it and wanted to shed light on other shit about it. So you know, it at the end of the day, most motherfuckers try to make it seem like it ain't what it ain't, but it is what it is, man. Motherfuckers know what they signed up for. Motherfuckers know what they get into. It just is what it is, bro. Um, let me go check. Let me go check and make sure my damn dog's still. All I gotta do is splash his damn light up. I think I need to charge it, but hopefully I just flash it at the door and see if she's still in there. Then we'll be good. And I don't know. I know for sure we doing Prestige grind tonight. Cause like I said, we ain't gonna start doing the what I want to do probably until the next couple of days. So probably Sunday. Sunday we'll start the 4 to 6 hours of different streams a day. So I mean, well, 2 times a day. So it'll be 4 to 6 hours doing one stream on gaming, and then 4 to 6 hours doing another stream on reactions, and that'll all happen in a day. So that's how we're gonna start doing it. We're gonna start running it like that. Every stream, and of course y'all already know I won't do every stream on Twitch. If so, we'll do like half and half. So we'll do 2 hours on Twitch and 2 hours on YouTube, something like that. You know what I mean? But hold on, let me peep out my damn back door and make sure my damn dog's still in the damn still in the fence.
Top players. Top players.
The Department of Homeland Security.
Maybe.
Are you drinking a Coke?
Okay.
King Von's son.
Oh yeah, today my last day for sure. It's my last day for sure. Look where the fuck I'm at! I'm in the middle of Camp Crystal Lake!
Well, they fired me. They took my bag as soon as I walked back in the building, y'all. What the fuck? What the fuck? Back at motherfucking square one.
I'm tired. I don't want to see this fucking badge. I don't want to see that fucking building. I am appreciative. I'm grateful I have the schedule.
Disclaimer, this video is an... Throughout baseball history, there's been a select few pitchers who just don't give a fuck. Blessed with the superhuman ability to heave an object 100...
World's most expensive grill, man. Sauce Walker, Plug Geo, you dig? I don't want no free. I want some of my money and I want to go over the top, best of the best, biggest of the biggest, make it work.
A 20-year friendship in Houston's jewelry scene just blew up in a major way. And the real story behind Johnny Dang's $200 million empire is about to shake the whole hip-hop world. Behind the flashy diamond grills and high-priced chains,
Throughout baseball history, there's been a select...
chains, Sauce Walker had been spending serious money at Johnny Dang's shop for years, building a bond that looks solid from the outside. We're talking...
World's most expensive grill, man. Sauce Walker, Plug Geo, you dig? I don't want no free. I want some of my money and I want to go over the top, best of the best, biggest of the biggest, make it work.
A 20-year friendship in Houston's jewelry scene just blew up in a major way. And the real story behind Johnny Dang's $200 million empire is about to shake the whole hip-hop world. Behind the flashy diamond grills and high-priced chains, Sauce Walker had been spending serious money at Johnny Dang's shop for years, building a bond that looks solid from the outside. We're talking massive purchases, custom pieces, and loyalty that went way beyond business deals. But things took a sharp turn when Sauce started questioning the value he was getting, with claims about overpriced jewelry and stones that didn't match what was promised. That's when everything shifted, and the truth behind this fallout started coming to light in the way nobody expected. What really caused this split isn't simple at all. It's layered, strategic, and way more intense than people thought. And now there's even audio making waves that has Johnny Dang trying to clear his name and protect his image. Before diving deeper, let's keep it real. Social media has been going crazy over this situation, with people choosing sides and spreading all kinds of stories. But we're here to break it down properly, separating what's real from what's just talk, because this situation goes far beyond surface level drama.
World's most expensive grill, man. Sauce Walker, Plug Geo, you dig?
I'm gonna take out the Johnny Dangs and put in the Geos. I'm sorry. I'm taking out these and I'm upgrading to these. You know what I'm saying? We went from 100,000 to 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Cause we had to edit, we setting the bar standard in the state of Texas so high that it cannot be beaten. Welcome to Texas.
And don't get it twisted. This wasn't just random online noise or a quick disagreement for attention. This was a long-standing relationship that cracked under pressure, and the reasons behind it run deep. Johnny Dang and Sauce Walker go way back, over 20 years deep. This wasn't just a casual link-up. This was built from the early days when Sauce was coming up in Houston, spending big money at Johnny's shop and forming what looked like solid loyalty. But here's where things take a turn. Sometimes the people closest to you end up moving in ways you didn't expect. Let's break it down clearly. Johnny Dang came to America from Vietnam with nothing but ambition and a strong drive to succeed in a brand new environment. He started small, working out of a flea market booth in Houston, putting in long hours, learning English, and connecting with local artists who were just starting to gain attention. Step by step, that small hustle grew into a $200 million jewelry empire. He became the go-to name for major rappers across Houston, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. But what really set Johnny apart was how sharp he moved during hip-hop's rise. Back in the early 2000s, while traditional jewelers stuck to old ways, Johnny focused on what artists actually wanted.
Johnny wouldn't have did nothing better than what I got in my mind, which I don't understand. Johnny wanted to put some smile in my mind. I don't want no free. He wanted to give me some free shit that was way smaller than this. I don't want no free. I want my money and I want to go over the top, best of the best, biggest of the biggest, make it work.
Custom pieces that showed off their identity and success. He wasn't just offering jewelry. He was creating symbols of status, standout pieces, and bold designs that could shape how an artist was seen. And Houston was the perfect place for this to take off. This city wasn't regular. It produced legends like DJ Screw and UGK, and had a strong underground scene where artists were eager to show their progress through standout pieces. Johnny placed himself right in the center of this cultural wave, offering payment plans, custom designs, and building close relationships that made artists feel like they were part of something real while they invested their tour earnings and music money. He knew exactly how to make people feel valued while growing his business at the same time. Now, in the hip-hop jewelry world, loyalty means everything. When you find a jeweler who truly gets your vision and can turn your ideas into standout pieces, you stick with them. You build a bond that feels like family. And that's exactly how things played out between Johnny Dang and Sauce Walker. For over 20 years, Sauce was spending big at Johnny's shop. We're talking about massive purchases, including a $500,000 chain, along with countless grills, pendants, bracelets, the full collection. Sauce wasn't just a client. He was like a walking showcase of Johnny Dang's work, representing the brand everywhere he went. But here's where things start to get more layered. While Sauce was investing heavily and helping boost Johnny's name in Houston, other artists, especially those from outside the city, were getting different treatment. Some were receiving promotional pieces, discounted deals, or early access to new designs. Meanwhile, loyal local clients like Sauce were paying full price across the board. And in this industry, perception is everything. When artists see their favorite rappers wearing certain pieces, it influences where they go next. He would hook up high-profile artists with free or discounted pieces in exchange for social media posts and public appearances showing off his jewelry. It was a smart promo move, no doubt. But here's the twist. Longtime customers who supported him before the spotlight weren't getting those same perks, and that started raising eyebrows. Now here's where things really get serious, at least according to industry talk. There were growing claims that Johnny Dang was charging top-tier prices while allegedly using CVD diamonds. Those are lab-created stones, and presenting them as if they were natural diamonds. That's a major difference when it comes to value. We're talking about artists spending anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 on pieces they believed had natural diamonds worth that price, but the claim suggests some of those items may have included lab-created stones that typically cost much less to produce. And this CVD diamond conversation goes deeper than most people think. These stones can be made in a matter of weeks compared to natural diamonds that take millions of years to form underground. Even though they can look the same and share similar properties, their market value is usually much lower.
For a family movie night, you really can't go wrong with the classics. So grab some popcorn and throw on your favorite classic. For example, a natural 2-carat diamond might go for around $20,000, while a similar lab-created version could range between $3,000 and $5,000. That's a big gap. Everything reached a breaking point when Sauce Walka revealed what he called the world's first permanent $1 million grill, created by celebrity jeweler Jose G. This wasn't just another flashy piece. This was on a whole different level. The grill featured a mix of 1-carat and 3-carat diamonds set in rose gold, with each tooth estimated between $20,000 and $50,000 across all 28 teeth. The level of detail was wild. We're talking over 50 carats of high-quality stones carefully placed into a permanent design. And when Sauce showed it off, he made it clear on camera, saying, "I'm gonna take out Johnny Dang's and put in the Geos. I'm sorry I'm taking out these and upgrading to these. We went from 100,000 to 1 million. You know what I'm saying? We setting the bar, the standard in Texas so high that we cannot be beaten." That moment hit hard. That statement right there, publicly comparing both jewelers and calling one an upgrade over the other, is what really sparked tension and pushed a 20-year relationship to the edge. And the timing made it even more intense. Johnny Dang was already dealing with growing public questions about his business, and now one of his most loyal clients was openly suggesting his work didn't match that top-tier level. But here's another twist. Jose G, the jeweler behind that $1 million grill, wasn't just some random name in the mix. Reports indicate he previously worked with...
Once again, we see Maxo Creed once again. God damn, what the hell going on with Maxo Creed, man? Damn, what the hell? We see Maxo Creed once again. This ain't even got nothing to do with no gang shit or nothing. Damn.
Johnny Dang and stopped working with him back in April 2021, adding even more layers to the situation. This detail changes everything. What looked like simple business competition suddenly feels way more personal, with inside knowledge playing a big role. Think about it. This wasn't just Sauce choosing a different jeweler. From Johnny's point of view, Sauce gave a $1 million project to someone who used to work closely with him. That means this person already understood the techniques, the business approach, and how everything operated behind the scenes. Then stepping out and becoming direct competition? That adds a whole new layer to the situation. On top of that, Plug Geo had been posting Johnny Who across social media for months, and there were even claims floating around that he was creating similar designs while offering lower prices. That former employee turning into a competitor angle hits differently, especially in tight business communities. Johnny had spent time teaching, guiding, and bringing him into the core of the operation. So when someone leaves and builds their own path using that same experience, it can feel like more than just regular competition. It feels personal. And the conversation didn't stop there. There were also public statements from Geo saying he wasn't properly compensated, even after helping generate millions in revenue. One claim mentioned over $9 million in a single year tied to his work. But here's where things really started to heat up. Geo was also making claims that Johnny had been selling CVD diamonds instead of natural ones, basically echoing what some industry voices had been hinting at for a long time. And because Geo had first-hand experience inside the business, his words carried serious weight. He wasn't just speaking from the outside. He had seen supplier connections, pricing setups, and how operations were handled day to day. So when someone with that level of access starts sharing concerns about business practices, people pay close attention.
It hits differently from rumors or secondhand talk. Right after the grill reveal, Johnny Dang responded with a 4-part video, and you could feel the emotion through the screen. His tone made it clear this situation affected him on multiple levels: business, personal ties, and reputation, all wrapped into one. He even mentioned that he had reached out to Sauce Walka before everything went public, trying to meet up, have a conversation, and possibly work on a new grill together, or even explore business opportunities. That shows he was aware things weren't perfect and was trying to handle it privately before it turned into a public situation. He said, "It's all good. You can shop around the world, you know? You don't need to put my name in there. But if you mention my name, put some respect on my name. If not, keep the in my name out your mouth." That moment added even more intensity to the situation. In Sauce's explanation of why he didn't go to Johnny for the $1 million grill, he laid out his mindset with raw honesty. He made it clear he had a very specific vision, saying, "Johnny don't have did nothing better than what I got in my mind. I don't understand. Johnny want to put some sense in my mind because he didn't want to go to signs that I didn't want to go to because he ain't want to do what I wanted to do for the money I'm trying to drop. He kept it direct about what he wanted. I ain't trying to do this. I don't want no free. He wanted to give me some free that was way smaller than this. I don't want no free. I want some of my money and I want to go over the top. Best of the best, biggest of the biggest. Make it work." That frustration really shows. This wasn't about getting a deal. It was about going all out. And it didn't stop there. He doubled down, saying, "That's not gonna fit. It's not gonna end your mouth, correct? It's not going, I don't give a if it's gonna fit. Make it fit. So I went to that Geo, made it fit, made it happen. Give a damn about what you're talking about." That right there shows how far he was willing to push his vision to make it happen.
He also made it clear he wasn't interested in handouts, saying, "I don't want nothing for free. I don't want no free diamond, man. I want a free diamond boy chain for my people to pass it around with all my crew and the rest of my people." What really got people talking was what this revealed underneath. Sauce felt like Johnny Dang was given special treatment and free pieces to out-of-town artists and celebrities, while he wanted to invest his own money and go bigger than anyone else. While Sauce, a longtime Houston client who had spent huge amounts over 2 decades, wasn't receiving that same level of attention as a hometown artist, it started to raise real questions. From his perspective, it felt like he was being treated like a regular customer, while others who didn't have that same long-term connection were getting premium treatment. There were also reports going around that Sauce had previously asked Johnny for complimentary jewelry and was turned down. Meanwhile, claims suggested that other artists from outside the city were receiving promotional pieces to boost visibility. That contrast is what really made people start looking at the situation differently. On top of that, Plug Geo made claims that this kind of approach wasn't limited to just one situation, but may have involved multiple high-profile clients. These are still allegations, but they definitely got people talking and questioning how things were handled behind the scenes. Now think about the numbers for a second. If someone is paying $100,000 for a piece believed to contain high-value natural diamonds, but the actual materials cost significantly less due to lab-created stones, that creates a huge gap in perceived versus actual value. When you scale that across many pieces over time, the total difference becomes massive. That's why certification matters so much in the diamond world. Natural diamonds typically come with grading reports from organizations like the GIA, Gemological Institute of America, confirming their origin and quality. Lab-created diamonds should also be clearly labeled on documentation. As the situation kept unfolding, the tension between all sides only got louder. What started as quiet industry talk quickly turned into a full-blown public situation, with fans, insiders, and other artists all weighing in with their own opinions. Social media became a battleground. Clips, reactions, and breakdowns were everywhere, with people analyzing every detail, from past purchases to old videos and even body language and interviews. Everyone was trying to piece together what really happened behind closed doors. At the center of it all, the biggest question remained. Was this just a misunderstanding that grew out of control, or was there something deeper going on within the business itself? That's what kept the conversation alive and spreading fast. Meanwhile, both sides were standing firm in their positions. Johnny Dang focused on defending his name and years of work, making it clear he built his reputation through dedication and consistency. On the other side, Sauce Walka stayed vocal about his experience, emphasizing his vision, his spending, and why he chose to move in a different direction. And then there's the bigger picture. Situations like this shine a light on how the custom jewelry world really operates, where image, trust, pricing, and relationships all collide. One small shift can turn into a major fallout when expectations don't line up. Here's the part that really made people pause. This wasn't being framed as just one or two questionable deals. According to industry talk, it was suggested this could be a repeated pattern that played a role in building Johnny Dang's $200 million empire. And when you're working with artists who trust your expertise, that kind of responsibility carries serious weight. A lot of artists aren't deep into diamond technicalities. They rely on the jeweler to guide them and be transparent about what they're buying. In many cases, they don't even ask for certification details, putting full trust in the person they're doing business with. That's why this situation sparked such a big reaction. If someone with a strong reputation is facing these kinds of claims, it naturally leads to bigger questions about the entire luxury jewelry space and its connection to the music industry. People started asking, how common is this type of situation? Are others using similar approaches? And how many artists may have paid premium prices without fully understanding what they were getting? Those questions alone kept the conversation going. And then there's the hometown angle. Houston has always had a tight, connected music scene where loyalty means everything. When someone rises up, there's an unspoken expectation to support the people and businesses around you. Johnny Dang built his name as Houston's go-to jeweler, the one who understood the culture and worked closely with local artists. The city's scene has always been about staying connected, giving back, and keeping that foundation strong as success grows. Johnny Dang gained a lot from that hometown loyalty. Houston artists didn't just support him because of his skills, they supported him because he was seen as part of the city's circle, someone connected to the culture and community. That kind of trust goes deeper than business. So when Sauce, one of his most consistent clients for over 20 years, started feeling like he wasn't getting the same level of attention, it stood out in a big way, especially when there were claims that out-of-town artists were receiving VIP treatment. In a city like Houston, where loyalty is everything, that kind of difference doesn't go unnoticed. That's why this situation hit harder than just a business disagreement. It touched on the unspoken rules of supporting your own and staying solid with the people who help build your name. And when those expectations feel off balance, it raises serious questions.
The bigger concern people started discussing was whether this kind of treatment extended beyond just one person. If pricing, product details, and client treatment weren't consistent across the board, it could impact more artists than just Sauce. These are still claims, but they definitely sparked deeper conversations across the industry. For Sauce Walker, this wasn't about dismissing Johnny's journey or success. It was about speaking on what he believed was ongoing unfair treatment and calling attention to concerns that could affect others in the same space. The fact that he chose to speak publicly, despite their long history, shows how serious things have become. Eventually, both sides were able to move forward and settle their differences at a Houston community event, showing that personal respect can still win out in the end. But even with that moment, the larger conversation about transparency and fair business practices didn't just disappear. At its core, this situation is about loyalty, respect, and fair business practices, and what happens when trust starts to fall apart in an industry built on close relationships. When that foundation gets shaky, everything connected to it feels the impact. There's also a deeper layer here involving power dynamics in a hip-hop jewelry world. For years, certain jewelers have held a strong position in the market, with artists placing full trust in them without always knowing the technical side of what they're buying. That kind of imbalance can
pretty much look like he mad. I don't know, it look like somebody said some fake shit.
of a deal. The culture is evolving fast, and artists are becoming more business-minded, asking more questions and protecting their investments. Johnny Dang built a major name over the years, but this moment shows that even the biggest brands have to stay sharp because everything depends on trust staying solid. And here's the final layer that really brings everything into focus. This situation didn't just create headlines, it shifted how people look at the entire hip-hop jewelry space. Once conversations like this go public, there's no going back to how things used to be. Now, more artists are paying attention than ever before. They're asking questions, double-checking details, and making sure they fully understand what they're investing in. That level of awareness is changing the game.
Everybody so much dick sucking, y'all be fine. Y'all want dick suck, y'all come up with it. Y'all shit turn fake. Now y'all got a problem. That's your problem. You know what I'm saying? That's your problem. I don't get it. Same shit every time. Shit don't change. Same shit every time. Literally. That girl is a real crowd teaser, pleaser. Slow. Yeah, all the time. So you grind. If I can't get it, yeah, we about to do it. Yeah, we about to do it. Shake back. I think we lost, though. We had we gonna start off with we gonna start off with black. That's what I'm calling. It's like, what y'all think? That's what I'm call it. Yeah, she doing it, baby. Yeah, she, yeah, she, yeah, she. said what I said, cuz that's what I said. Huh. Yeah, hit your head, huh. Hit your top, piece of that. Right, but I'm trying to lay down by like 5 o'clock, y'all. That's why I was gonna do reactions to like 2:30, 2 o'clock. But it's like 2 o'clock. I kind of want to do a little speed grind, so tomorrow I ain't got to do that much. So we'll probably do like, I think we had should we start off with shirts or should we start off with blackout? I ain't gonna lie, let's start off with, can we do quads and shirts? Let's start off with quads. I wanna play quads and shirts. Get on me, for real, baby.
Bro, I did a dude so dirty today, bro, with ground loot. Picked up some ground loot. Bro, picked up some fucking ground loot. It was an M15 mod. Dropped right on top of him. Dude had a loadout. He had all opportunity to kill me and still lost the fight. I was in shock. I'm like, bro, there's no way I won that shit. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's crazy.
Check your gear and weapons. Deploy shortly. All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
Got down. Got down. Let's go, team.
Fucking good team.
Resurgence. Survive and your team can redeploy. Eliminate targets to bring them back faster. dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
2 on roof. Oh shit, bring him.
Heads up, Echo unit.
Squad mate is redeployed. Well done.
She's letting.
No, I shot him once though.
Adding armor.
Oh, you guys been.
That armor's gone.
Down. Stay alive to bring it back.
Got him already down.
Oh, I see.
Target
I
down.
told you, bro.
Marking the
Like he was gonna join us mid-game.
He joined.
Yeah, he joined. He's in lobby right now.
I'm mad.
I don't know how the fuck I be calling this.
Enemy dropping into the
Redeployed
AO.
and ready for business.
Stand by for redeployment.
Changing mag.
People to your right, in front of you too. Careful. Oh, he's hurt. Right here, red mark. Ah!
Whole team. Oh, I just get sniped from behind. That's beautiful. Firehouse.
You're the last one standing, soldier. Survive until your squad can redeploy. You have reinforcements inbound.
Adding armor.
Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. Bounty targets identified. Weapons free.
That armor's gone.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Switching mags.
Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them.
Yes, niggas. Yeah.
Heads up.
You've got a loadout drop inbound. You have reinforcements inbound.
The fuck is he shooting?
Back on the field.
Back on station. Go get after it. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done.
That armor's gone. Loading
Kill
fresh mag.
confirmed. We've located the rest of them. Nine left. Keep the pressure on. We've got 10 squads active in the field.
Adding armor.
You're being tracked by an enemy
I'm under
squad.
fire.
Evade and survive.
Adding armor.
dropping into the area.
Kill me, you're gonna die too, buddy.
Gas is moving.
Load out anyway.
Niggas really bought a loadout, bro, and they landed on the
Redeployed and ready for business.
You're redeploying. Targets evaded. Bounty contract been pulled.
Rub some dirt on it. It'll be all right.
He fell from somebody. He fell from somebody.
Enemy with Semtex.
Contract was compromised.
Back on the field.
We're returning you to the front. Earn this.
Pick your teammate with me now.
Adding armor.
Your squad mate's back on station. Good work.
They got me.
Your
Adding
squad
armor.
mate is redeploying. Well done. Resurgence is about to end. Make it count.
Boys, sweaty people out here.
Be advised, you still have squad mates outside the safe zone.
Hey, Pink, somebody back here.
Got movement. Cancel that. Casi me muero.
You have reinforcements inbound.
I'm under fire. Me up.
I was using somebody else's loadout the whole time. Good shot,
bitch.
Reloading.
Redeployed and ready for business.
You're redeploying. Be advised, resurgence is no longer active. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work.
Let out,
Land on my mark.
it was a process, man.
Buy station mark. I've survived worse.
Get you back
Check
here.
your map.
Damn,
Mark the point containing enemy intel nearby. Capture it for information on the next gas spread. Enemy marked. You're losing ground. Move it. Spotted a hostile here. Cancel enemy visual.
Watch for movement.
Hey, yo, I'm going.
I'm taking fire! Back on the field.
You've got 4 remaining. Stay sharp.
There's stuff
5
inside here,
squads
Pete.
still operational in the AO.
Watch the movement.
Somebody over
Reloading.
there by Blue.
Got movement. Moving here.
They got me.
I've survived worse.
What's one on top of us?
Bad spot.
Moving here. Move to the safe zone. You've got gas moving in.
You're just weird to just sitting there, bro. I swear.
We've lost eyes on the objective. Contract failed. Get to the safe zone. Gas is inbound.
Switching mags.
Bounty targets are up. Get after them.
I'm gonna get one person.
Watch your
Sure.
fire, you idiota.
Oh shit, man.
You got a good pull. Just find a little bit.
One person back. One person back.
Come on, buy me back.
Close.
Fix me up.
Top roof, on pink.
Changing max.
Oh shit. I downed somebody out there by the buy station, but there's
Loading.
like 2 more behind.
Got movement.
Buy station, buy station.
There's no door right there.
You're in the top 3.
Got
Cover
the
it up
bitch.
now.
He got on my fucking man.
Takes more than that to put me down. Switching mags.
One more.
I've survived worse.
Yeah.
He bought somebody back.
Oh god.
Taking it.
Only 2.
Oh shit.
No, you can't be ass bitch.
I didn't see your battle
Good
to the
shit, good
blue.
shit.
Good run, good run.
I don't even know where Humble's at, but I was already in the sky. I had killed 2 of them. So he was already gone. That's why I was there. That's crazy. That was crazy.
¿Cuánto MVP hay? Como 5 o 6, ¿verdad?
God.
Es clásico. Tú mencionas.
It's the experience of how the massacre is always.
You know.
see my boy at the here.
Para que vea, mano.
Yeah, I think I got 2 more like 3.
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up. Stand by. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Okay, stop! Stop! Torture is wrong!
All stations, green light. We're deploying to the war zone. Resurgence. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill to bring them back faster. Spotted a contract. Enemy soldier incoming.
Come on.
Bounty targets marked. Kill them all.
Their armor's gone.
I'm gone, I'm gone.
Mark remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down.
Loading fresh mag. Reinforcing armor.
Adding armor. Reloading.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Good kill.
Reloading.
Marking the rest of that squad on your tac map. Get hunting.
Oh, sweet.
Indicating waypoint. Tally hostile. Located enemy. Rally on marked coords. Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Located enemy.
Come get this loot. Your squad's in the safe zone. Gas is closing in.
You don't want to do this without me.
You have reinforcements inbound.
Check your goddamn fire. Swapping mags.
your location.
Redeployed and ready for big.
It crashed. No way the game crashed. That being said, I ain't about to start this shit back up. I'm done. That was just a sign, cause I just said something about it. I just said something about I need to lay my ass down. I'm over. So that's a sign. Yo, I love y'all, man. Y'all be good. I appreciate y'all dropping in on. I'm out, man. I see y'all in the morning, man. Or probably afternoon. I probably won't be up. Probably tomorrow. I think I probably won't be up till about 11, 12. But, yeah, I'll be up, but I won't like keep up until probably like 11 or 12. So we'll be streaming later. Later for sure. Um, um, later for sure. Later for sure. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all be good, man.